On my fellow faggots. Today I'm gonna be talking about the first time that I ever smoked weed. Um, I've been smoking for about a year now, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to just make a story to just like reflect over over all the time that I've spent smoking weed and my first time smoking. I just have some random PUBG content. I literally just bought the game. This is my second game on, so I don't expect to be too good. This is kind of the game that I was playing. So yeah, so back when I had my PC, I was just sitting around. I think I was playing like Overwatch at the time, and my dad walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, do you want to go to your friend's house?" He just called me, and I was like, "Sure, I got nothing better to do." They said we were gonna go see a movie at the drive-in. I wasn't like too thrilled, but I was like, it's something to do. So the plans are set. I head over there, and at first, my dad drops me off. He hangs out for a little bit, says hello. Everything, seemed normal. And some time goes on. My dad leaves, and I ask, I'm like, hey, when are we going to this drive-in? And they hit me with the fact that there was no drive-in and that we were throwing a party that none of the adults knew about. And I was like, oh, alright, I'm down. So, the party's going on. Not really, this is like before the party. We're just, kind of sitting around, kind of bored when people start showing up. Now, I knew that the person throwing the party smoked. And I had always wanted to smoke before this. Like, there had always been, I'd always been, like, really curious and wanted to give it a go. But, so more people start showing up, and her boyfriend, is like, hey, you guys want to go do this? And I'm just like, yeah, let's, I'm down. So we head out into, like, the woods. It was like this small little wooded area back behind the house. And so we head on back there, right? And this kid, man, I had never smoked anything before in my life. And this kid pulls out like this. Imagine like the length of a full bong, right? But it was a steamroller. And so they hand me this thing, and I have no idea what to do with it. Like, I had never smoked before. No one had ever, told me what to do. So, like, they just hand me this thing, and I'm like, hey, can I, like, get some help here? Like, they're like, how many times have you smoked this? And I was like, yeah, once or twice before. That was a total lie. But, so they're holding it for me, and I take this hit, and, like, I remember, like, they gave me a decent hit, and oh man, dude, I was coughing up, like, 3.5 bits of my lung, dude. It was tragic, when I tell you. And so, that goes down. The girl in the circle had, she had a drink that I could get. So, after taking that huge rip, I had something to ease the cough. You gotta cough to get off. But, after all that, we smoked. They were like, hey, we want to smoke with you, but you're a lightweight, and you've already taken a lot of hits. Why don't you, go back? Maybe make sure no one's suspicious. And so I go back to the campfire, and I was just sitting there, and I remember, like, this feeling of, like, a warm feeling creep up back behind my neck, and it just started to, like, grow. And it was crazy at the time, and, like, eventually it, like, took over, like, my whole head, And this is where the story gets a little fuzzy for me, because like I said, it was a year ago, and I was really baked. And like I remember we were sitting on the couch, and I am just destroying every last Cheeto in this dish, right? And it's like a party, so like it's like laid out for everybody, but I am just like 1-2 bopping these Cheetos like no tomorrow. And this girl next to me, she was like, "Hey, can I get some Cheetos?" And I was just like, "Look, I'm fat, you're fat, we're both fat, so it's okay." And just decided to keep eating the Doritos. That's like the state of mind that I was in. So, you know, after insulting somebody and eating all the Doritos, um, they ask if I want to smoke again. I'm like, damn straight. So we head out into the back, and we smoke again. And honestly, I don't remember much after that. I think at that point I was like KO'd, and like we went back inside. I think I just fell asleep. But I mean, really, all I did was got really high. You know, I ate a bunch of Cheetos, sat on the couch, made some jokes. I remember I could not stop laughing, man. It was a good time. Anybody who hasn't, you know, partaken in a doobie, um, I'd recommend it once you get a little bit older. You know, late teenager. I wouldn't recommend doing it like 12 or anything, even if you're like really curious. It's just not worth it. But yeah, that was my first time ever partaking in weed, considering now that I'm like a stone cold professional. You know, it's a good time. I would definitely recommend it once in a while. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Um, Water bottles signing out, Chief.